Hi witches, blessed be. This is WhiteRaven over here. Today is Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. How are you witches? I'm so excited to be here today. Yet another Monday. I welcome you. If you're here for the first time, welcome witch. I am here to teach you about magic from my perspective. I love to read and I love to share because I want to be for you what I wish I had when I started this path so many years ago. Today I have a really awesome spell for you guys, and this video also is going to be a little bit of teaching, so I'm gonna ask you right off the bat for you to please share this video. This may be one of those videos that may not be watched by people because people like things like this. People don't like to dig in and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, let's learn a little bit before we do the magic. So the more you know, the more power you have. I'm telling you, witches, you gotta know stuff. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about defixions. What are defixions? And everything is inspired on this little booklet that I have for a long time. It's called Cursed Tablets and Binding Spells from the Ancient World. And it's this little booklet over here. I'm going to put a picture in the screen so you guys can see it up close. And I'm also going to put in the description of the video a link for you to get this book. Which is, magic is a very, very old art. Back in ancient Greece, Rome, and Egypt, people still did magic. I mean, love spells, sex spells, curses, bindings, you name it. Magic has been done forever. So back in the time, people used to make these little tablets and they used to inscribe their magic in those little tablets. Now, those little tablets are called defixions. And they were discovered by modern archaeologists. And we are so lucky that these archaeologists took the very tedious task to decipher all these little tablets, and they wrote them down in this book that I have over here for you to know, for everybody to know. And hopefully we can preserve all this magic throughout history, right? And through hundreds of years more. A couple of years ago, I shared with you guys a little video. I'm probably going to put it somewhere here in this corner called Get My Man Back. And the chant on that video come from the spells in this book. So it's a very ancient chant. It's been modified slightly for the video for our time nowadays. This book has some spells that are really graphic. People was very obsessed with genitalia back then. I mean, right now too. I mean, I'm not gonna say, but it's really funny to find those type of things in books. A lot of spell books that you find out there are a little bit more discreet when they talk about genitalia. You know, they don't actually say the names that they usually are used nowadays, the vulgar names of it. So yeah, back in that time, people was really obsessed with all that too. And that shows you how similar our problems have always been throughout centennials, you know, throughout all these centuries of years. It's really incredible that people back then had the same issues that we have nowadays. People gossiping, love affairs, justice problems, you name it. So today I'm going to share with you a spell for you to scramble somebody's life, for you to restrain somebody that's doing evil to you. Now, back in that time, a lot of those defixions call upon gods of the underworld. Not necessarily all of them, but the one that we're doing today, we're going to be calling upon Persephone. And Persephone has been very romanticized throughout the years. Please understand that Persephone is the queen of the underworld. She is married to Hades. And I invite you, witches, if you do not know the story of Persephone and her mother Demeter and Hades, please go ahead and do a research. That is something that you should know. Even if you don't deal with the Greek pantheon, it is a very great story and it's something that you should know, especially if you're going to do this spell. Another being that we're going to be using in this spell is something that back in that time, they used to call daemons. And I am stressing the way I am pronouncing this because I don't want you to think that I'm talking about demons. All right. In English, it's pronounced the same. It is written differently. But people back in that time used to also call upon the help of daemons. And daemons are nothing but intermediaries between you and gods. Okay? So they're either good and they're also bad. So they will work either way. So you will ask and request the assistance of a daemon in order to punish somebody that is doing evil to you. Now, back in that time, they used to make these defixions and these tablets in lead. Just because nowadays we all know that lead is harmful for us, I'm not going to be using lead for this particular defixion. Also, this book is going to share with us other different type of curses that were recorded in pots, and also some clay dolls that are pretty brutal. Let me know if you want me to share more of the spells that I have in this book with you guys in the Mondays to come. For the making of our defixion today and our spell today, we're going to need a few things. Number one, I'm going to be using copper for the tablet. This piece of copper is copper that you use for embossing. Okay, so if you like to do embossing, you probably have some copper at home that you can use. If you do not have copper at home, this is something that you can easily find in any craft store, at least in the United States. Okay, I can only speak for where I live. I don't know how it's in your country. Ultimately, if you don't have anything and you still want to do this spell because of the symbolism of writing in a piece of metal, you can cut a can of soda and you can also do embossing in a can of soda. But if you can go ahead and use copper, go ahead and use copper. Copper is one of the most ancient metals ever used by us humans. So I really like to use copper for this spell. The measurements of your plate is going to be 13 centimeters by 6 centimeters. Okay, that is the measurement of the defixion that we are going to make today. We're going to be embossing in the front and we're also going to be embossing in the back. To make your embossing easier, you're going to use a piece of cardboard because we're going to put the piece of copper in here and then we're going to push what we're going to write, and you need something slightly soft underneath for you to be able to write on that copper. Now, certain metals are going to be harder than others. That's why I tell you use the copper. They have different gauges when you are embossing. So you want something thin and easy to emboss and easy to write on, but you don't want like aluminum foil that is going to break, right? So obviously you're going to need a scissor and you're going to need a ruler, which is because we need specific measurement in our piece of metal. Now, if you don't have any embossing tools, I mean, let's face it, not everybody out there lives embossing. I'm pretty sure some of you guys don't know what embossing is. And it's okay, I didn't know how was it called in English for many years. Anyways, if you don't have any tools to emboss your copper, then you just need a pencil. Make sure that tip is not very pointy because it's going to break on you. Just round it, and that's what we're going to be using. Okay, witches, so let's get into the spell. Okay, witches, here we go. We have a little piece of copper, and we are going to make a letter to the gods of the underworld to restrain a person that is doing evil towards you. You are going to write in this side, and then we're going to turn this around and we are going to write in the other side. This is what you are going to write in this side. I'm sending a letter to the demons and Persephone to deliver punishment to so-and-so who did me wrong. And your plate is going to look something like this. It's actually really beautiful, witches. Now we're going to turn it around. And what we're going to write in this side, witches, is going to be Persephone, restrain their power. Damon, may you restrain them by your side forever. You are going to write that down, but you're going to scatter the words. You're not going to write one word next to the other. You're going to write this chant with no rhythm. One word here, one word here, one word here, one word here. Because what we want to do, which is we want to scatter their lives. It's going to look something like that, all scatter. Next thing we're going to do, witches, you are going to fold this in half. Now, witches, I need you to see this through. You are doing a very ancient spell. And this will work for you. And you will see this through. Now, back in the time, this was buried in a cemetery. Because that is the perfect door into the underworld. Many of us live close to cemeteries that are completely guarded all the time. If you can leave this by a tomb, that is what you're going to do, witches. If you cannot do that, your next best choice is going to be a crossroad. If you cannot bury this in a crossroad, then you are going to bury this far away from you. Do not falter, witches. So here you go, witches, your own little defixion, your little packet with that curse for all the evildoers that are sending you all those ill intentions. And that's it, witches. Thank you so very much for joining me again. I really hope you enjoy this little spell that I had for you. You need to commit to it, okay? Make sure that you see this through and make sure that you finish your spell. Don't do it halfway, witches. Go all the way through. Please let me know in the comments if you want to see any more spells, curse from this book. And email me if you have any questions at lairofthewitch@yahoo.com. Remember to visit my beautiful website, WhiteRavenandWitchesLair.com. I have a lot of new products coming up, and I am super excited to share this with you. Coming up, I'm going to be doing a video on how to prepare your own horseshoe for good luck and prosperity, because you know, this year for me is all about prosperity. Please go visit my social platforms. I am in Facebook, I am in Instagram, and I am in Pinterest. I am here for you, witches. Your wish is my command. So is there any videos that you want me to share in the next Mondays coming up? Let me know. That's what I'm here for, witches. Other than that, it is always awesome talking to you, witches. You must stay very smart. But above all, you must stay so very wicked. Bye.